Just to clarify, if the Republicans passed a funding bill, if Congress passed a funding bill that tied the president's hands on the immigration executive order, basically undid it or made it impossible to carry out, would the president veto such a bill?
Yes.
So the president's willing to see the government shut down if Congress is not, tries to tie his hands on immigration.
Well, John, you'll be surprised to hear that I see it slightly differently. I actually don't believe that members of Congress, or at least a majority of members of Congress, are going to be willing to go along with an effort to shut down the government in protest over the president's executive actions on immigration. What the president announced about 10 days ago is entirely consistent with the precedent that was established by previous presidents, and is well within the legal confines of the law as it relates to prosecutorial discretion. And again, it's Senator McConnell, the incoming Senate Majority Leader, said himself just a week or so after the election, "We will not be shutting the government down or threatening to default on the national debt." I think that's a pretty clear statement from among the most influential Republicans in Congress that a government shutdown is not in the offing here.
So is the president willing to go along with this idea that Republicans are now talking about of basically funding all of the government through October of next year, except for the Department of Homeland Security, which would be implementing, of course, the immigration changes, making that funding temporary?
Well, there are a variety of proposals that we've seen be floated on Capitol Hill. As a general matter, it is the view of this administration that Congress should fulfill their responsibility and pass a year-long extension of, pass a year-long budget, because that is, it's Congress's responsibility to do that. Right. So we're not asking them to do anything heroic, we're asking them to do their job. But it also has significant and positive benefits for the economy. That we're locking in some certainty for businesses, and particularly when we're talking about an economy that, at least a global economy that in some countries is faltering a little bit, doing all that we can to sort of boost our domestic economy seems to be pretty important. It certainly is a top priority of the president's, and Congress can contribute to this in a substantial way, by passing this, by passing an omnibus.
But would the president have a problem with a carve-out where it's basically funding everything except for Homeland Security?
Well,
making Homeland Security the one part of the budget that would be funded on a temporary basis. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I recognize that there are a lot of ideas that have been,
that's one they've been really.
Some of them more creative than others.
Yeah.
But again, what we would like to see is something that would sort of eliminate any uncertainty and just and pass an omnibus.